Hello Crocs, I'm Dr. Z. Many of you may remember me from working with you in your second grades. I've been doing that for about 5 years now. Today I'm going to show you how you can possibly make an electromagnet at home. Now, you should recall from your studies that there are two kinds of magnets. Permanent magnets. This is one called a neodymium. It's quite a strong one. You can get them on Amazon. And you know, as you well know, iron is attracted to a magnet, okay, like that. And permanent magnets are magnets all the time. They'll never lose their magnetic property. Now there's a second kind called a temporary magnet. And temporary magnets kind of can be turned on or turned off. For example, if I were to take this permanent magnet, take an iron nail, and as you know, it's attracted to the magnet, but guess what? The nail itself now has become a magnet. You see that? It attracts the paper clip, which is also iron. Now, if we take the nail away from the magnet, it retains its property for a little while. It will do that maybe for a couple minutes, but eventually it will stop being a magnet and will no longer attract the paper clip. So we've made this nail a temporary magnet by exposing it to a permanent magnet for a little while, and it takes on magnetic properties for a little while, but not too long. Okay, so we have permanent, we have temporary, and there's a special kind of temporary magnet called an electromagnet, and that was discovered about 200 years ago. And electromagnets are just everywhere. You have no idea. They're in your home, in your washers, dryers, computers, televisions. They're just everywhere. So here's a very simple way that you can make one at home. And what you're going to need is some copper wire. Okay, I bought this at Nichols. They measure the diameter of wire by something called gauge. And this is a 24 gauge. That's a good size. The bigger the number, the smaller the wire, the smaller the gauge, the thicker the wire. So around 22, 23, 24 gauge will be fine. You're going to need a AA battery. You're going to need a good pair of gloves, okay, because there's some heat involved in making these. So make sure that you have some gloves that are well insulated so that you don't feel the heat that's generated from the battery. Okay, that's very important. We don't want anybody getting hurt here. And finally, we need an iron nail. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to take our iron nail and we're going to wrap some of that copper wire, maybe wrap it, I don't know, 25, 30 times around the wire. And so that it looks like this, so that you have the ends of the wire sticking up like that, okay? You see that? Okay, so here's the thing. This itself is not a magnet, right? If you try sticking a paper clip to it, it just falls right off. No luck. Okay, now let's do something very interesting. Let's take our AA battery and very carefully with your finger attach one end of the copper wire to the top of the battery and then the other end of the battery to the copper wire. So you got something like this, and guess what? All of a sudden now you've got an electromagnet. It's magnetic, and that's because whenever electricity runs through a wire, it creates a magnetic field. And that was really important in science. Okay, as soon as I released the wire from the battery, paperclip falls off, and this is no longer a magnet. So now you see that with electromagnets, we can turn the magnetic properties on and off, on and off. Okay, I hope you try that at home, and until next time, hope you enjoy science. Take care.